Hey guys, my name is Preston McAdams.
And I'm Warren McAdams.
So today we're going to go over how to study well, how to succeed in college and throughout high school.
Yeah, and both of us are graduates of Texas State University.
And we both made it in under 4 years. First and most important thing that I would have to say is keep it colorful. This is just one of my spirals. I'm always using colors. Always use highlighters, different colored pens, anything that can probably stand out in your eyes or make a pop, something that you'll remember a little bit better than just plain black or plain gray. Here's like PowerPoint slides that I had where I just, I use the girliest colors. Those actually pop out to me and help me remember things the best. Make your own style out of it. So like for me, what I did was the definitions. I would actually highlight one color, and then if something was more important, I would fully highlight it. If it was semi-important, I would underline it with the highlighter. Obviously the star is going to be like, this is really important, this is probably on the test.
And if you're doing the colors with people and places, significant events, I would always highlight important people in blue, what they did in green, their significance, and then any other extraneous detail about them in like a pink or some other color. But that way, if I needed to just skim through my entire readings, it would be really quick and easy. I knew exactly when one person started in the text and another person ended. And that was really helpful. And same thing with sciences, especially anatomy. I would have functions in blue, their attachment sites in green, and the muscle itself in like an orange or a pink.
Also, sticky notes. I had to go grab these. Big ones, little ones. Anything that you can figure out that works best for you or fits best in your spiral journal, whatever it is, utilize those. Those are really good, really helpful.
Graphic organizers are a lifesaver. Oh, yes. The standard web, where you start off with, let's say, the endocrine system, and then it branches off into, let's say, blank over here, blank over here, blank over here, and each of those subsections continuously branch into new sections. That's really helpful if you want broad range things, but it can really slow you down if you are wanting really specific details and your web is too extensive, because if it's too big, you're not going to really go over it 5 seconds before a test when you really want that last minute, do I have the right information? Like touching base with what he was saying, cramming. If you need a cram, you go straight to the sticky note, open it up, and you're good to go. One thing I would suggest is do not wait last minute to study. I know that's something that everybody does, and it's hard not to do. I did it, he did it, we all did it. But the more that you can actually get stuff in, either 2 nights before, 3 nights before, and it's even just for 10 minutes, you're going to retain that 10 minutes so much, and it will definitely help you out. So definitely start studying early, even if it's not a lot, just start studying early. And I like to study before I go to sleep, because when I wake up, I seem to retain a whole lot of what I just reviewed. And I would just continuously take these nap, study, nap, study, nap, study. But the naps throughout the day, don't make them any less than an hour, but also try not to make them more than an hour and a half. You'll get drowsy. Yes. Do not watch TV, do not play video games right after you study. It's like it literally sucks it out of you. Like you forget everything that you studied, and it's just, it's a no-go. So don't do that. Also, flashcards, use those. Those can be helpful to some people. I know not to all, but figure it out. If it's working for you, then keep doing that. Also, implement the colors. That always helps me out. I can't stress that enough. I love colors. It sounds stupid, but they really do help. And study groups. Study groups weren't so important in undergrad, but especially if you're a graduate student, study groups are the best thing ever. Having someone else to bounce ideas off, having them as someone you can teach information to, or they can teach information to you, that really helps reinforce the information so much better, and it also gives you another source of accountability. If you don't want to study one day, they may be able to pressure you into studying that day.
Yes. But you got to watch out. Some study groups can be destructive. If you're
Right.
going and you're thinking you're going to study and you figure out, hey, this isn't really studying, this is just hanging out, having a good time. Hang out, have a good time that first time, unless it's the day before a test, don't do that. But then just remember, these guys probably aren't going to be actually pounding the books, and that could probably hurt you more than it can help you. So be wary.
And if you're realizing that you actually retain more on your own than in a study group, it may just be your learning style for that particular class. But I can guarantee you that it's not that way for every class. Some classes you really do want study groups, and other classes you really don't need that study group.
I definitely agree.
Learn how to speed read. And skimming passages to extremely long texts is awesome, but know how to do it. So read the first and last sentence of each paragraph. Read the entire paragraph for the intro, or the set of paragraphs for the introduction. If there's a summary section, read all of it.
Oh yeah.
Don't skim summary sections.
Spark notes. If you are in high school still, even in college, use Spark Notes. That it definitely helps out, especially if you don't like reading and you don't want to read a full book. Okay, so another thing that you can do is set alarms in your phone. I know a lot of times I would have totally forgotten I had a test either the night before or even the day of. If I wasn't going to wake up in time. Set alarms on your phone. Everybody's got phones. Everybody's got alarms that are compatible with your phone. So set those. They'll help you out in so many ways, especially if you're in college and you're thinking about going out or going to a party. That alarm goes off and you're like, oh crap, I actually got to study. So that could cancel your plans, which is not fun, but it is a way that can help you succeed, and you can always party later.
Also, don't have one spiral for multiple classes. Have at least one spiral for each class, and for the more information-intensive classes, especially the ones with longer PowerPoints. And if you're a person who likes to print out each PowerPoint, make sure you get a sufficient size binder, whether that's a 1-inch, 2-inch, even a 3-inch binder. Don't let that be something that hinders your ability for success. I know on multiple occasions that there have been people who have just lost all of their stuff because they lost a single spiral, and it had all of their classes' information in it. And after a while, a spiral just doesn't cut it. You have way too much information as the semesters progress, and your spiral kind of falls apart, it explodes. Make sure you get those binders.
Especially when that spiral or whatever you're using is overflowing, and then you have to get a new one, then the organizational track just goes off rail, and it's really hard to figure it out from there. Dedicate spirals to a class, so one per one, or one spiral for one class.
Make your agendas before the semester actually starts. I'd gather up all of my syllabuses that I could, and I would go ahead and first I'd map out all my tests, and then I'd map out all my quizzes, and then I'd map out all my big projects, and then all of my miscellaneous homework assignments. But that would give me a really good indication of when I was about to hit a really compact week, and when I needed to start studying a lot earlier, and it also gave me a better understanding of when my off weeks would be, when I could just relax or catch up on studying. And you can also color code your agendas. So all of the tests I would highlight in bright pink, so they were very easy to see, whereas my homework assignments, I wouldn't even highlight them in any color because they were just not as heavily weighted.
Another thing is watch where you sit. If you're sitting in the very back of the class or off to the side, that's not a good place to sit. Rethink that. It really does help to sit at the front of the class and in the middle aisles too. So sit in the front and in the middle, and you'll be learning stuff left and right.
And don't be afraid to ask any of your professors questions at any time of the day.
That's what they're there for.
Right. When you're pinpointed in the middle of class and you don't know something and the teacher tells you the response, most likely you're going to remember that. And for questions you miss on tests, make sure you go over those tests in a teacher's office hours, because some of those test questions will come back on the final exams. So make sure you know those first couple tests you take by heart.
Quizlet is awesome. Depending on what classes you take, like the universal ones, like math, English, not really universal, but nationwide. Those ones, they're going to be pretty much the same answers anywhere. So if you're needing that push or that help because you don't want to do the review guide yourself, you can always go to that and utilize that as a really good top-notch asset sometimes.
Yeah, and Study Blue is also like Quizlet, but both of them have testing features to where you make these flashcards and it can give them to you in a multiple choice testing format, or it can give them to you in fill in the blank format.
Well, that's all for right now. We can't think of anything else. So,
lame.
yeah, thank you for watching our video.
Yep, thank you.